Hi there, everyone. Thanks for joining us on another informative edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Theodore Henry. We have a lot lined up for you, starting with the news of the day. You can't miss any of it, so stick around.
Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan, and this is your JS News for Monday, September 9, 2024. 3 more families now have the security of shelter thanks to the government's new social housing program, NSHP. On Friday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness delivered units to the latest beneficiaries in Kingston and St. Andrew. Among them, Richard Edwards, his brother, nephew and aunt, who lived in a house that was collapsing. They received a 3-bedroom unit in central Kingston. Barbican resident Ronald Arboyne is now the proud owner of a 2-bedroom home. Mr. Arboyne, who is disabled and unemployed, was previously living out of an abandoned car while his daughter stayed at different homes. The third house recipient, Karen Francis, expressed gratitude for the opportunity to move out of the unstable board house she previously occupied with her 6 children. The Calalumuse resident now has a stable 2-bedroom home. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says beyond providing shelter, the NSHP is about reducing poverty and improving people's standard of living.
There's always frustration with government. Things take too long, things don't get done efficiently. But you can judge the effectiveness of government by how it focuses its effort on ensuring that the persons who are the most vulnerable, the most impacted, how government tries to assist them. And what this program is, it is targeted to assisting the most vulnerable in housing.
The government's Rebuild Jamaica initiative brought relief to residents of Portland and Montego Bay last week. Persons whose homes were damaged during July's passage of Hurricane Beryl received cash grants to help undertake repairs. Over 70 beneficiaries in Portland were presented with their checks during a ceremony at Hotel Tim Bamboo. Scores of Montego Bay residents received their cash grants during a handing over function at the Montego Bay Civic Center. Minister of Labour and Social Security Pernell Charles Jr. says there is additional comprehensive support that the beneficiaries will receive.
In addition to the distribution of these checks, which are grants, meaning you don't have to work for it and you don't have to pay it back, some of the more vulnerable in the categories that have received more damage and negative impact will receive additional support through the World Food Program. And in 2 weeks, some of you will get a text message from the UN World Food Program telling you the additional cash grant that you will receive.
In the meantime, he is urging persons to think carefully about how and where they rebuild to mitigate future dislocation.
Rebuild Jamaica has to be about a mindset change, about how you think, about how you prepare yourself. And so I want to encourage you that you start to think about where you live. Think about how you live. Think about your safety.
The Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC will be opening applications for 6-stage carriage sub-franchise routes in the Kingston Metropolitan Transport Region KMTR on October 1. Minister of Transport Darrell Vaz made the announcement during the last post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House. He says the routes will be serviced by coaster buses and will cover the communities of Shortwood, Barbican, Duane Park, Whitehall, Havendale and Harbourview, all terminating in downtown Kingston via Halfway Tree. Additionally, 11 route taxi licenses will also be issued on September 18. 6 will be based out of St. William Grant Park in downtown Kingston, headed to Norman Gardens, Rennock Lodge, Crossroads, Vineyard Town, Rollington Town, and Franklin Town. The other 5 will head to 3 Miles, Papine, Chancery Street, Duane Park, and Windward Road, coming from Halfway Tree. Minister Vaz is urging illegal Hackney carriage operators on these routes to get the required route taxi licenses.
Hackney carriage operators are invited to apply for conversion to a route taxi license starting now up to March 25 in the first instance. The operators who refuse to convert their licenses to route taxis and continue to operate illegally will face the law.
Minister of Education and Youth Favour Williams is reminding schools that the payment of fees for student enrollment is not mandatory. The minister's remarks come as a reaffirmation of the government's commitment to ensuring equitable access to education. She underscores that while contributions from parents are encouraged, no student should be denied access to education due to an inability to pay the fees set by some schools.
No child should be barred from school for non-payment of fees. We understand that there are some fees for items that you have to purchase, of course, yes, but for the other part of it, the government has clearly articulated that it is non-mandatory.
The minister was addressing last week's post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House. She further highlighted that the Ministry of Education was prepared to provide additional resources or differentiated funding where necessary, provided there was proper justification and documentation. Looking ahead, she says the ministry will unveil the final versions of the nutrition and the dress and grooming policies during this academic year. And finally, the 3-year Jamaica-China Sports Technical Exchange Program has been successfully completed. Student athletes from 6 sporting disciplines, including swimming and women's football and gymnastics, recently concluded a 2-month training camp in China. There, they were exposed to China's advanced training methodologies and some of the best coaches in the world.
The coaches really were invested. They took the time to know our athletes. They took the time to properly evaluate the athletes, and consequently they made adjustments in the training plan once they would have evaluated the athletes. And so this demonstrated to me that there was careful thought given to what was happening. It was not just following a program. They were intentional in ensuring that there was an improvement for our athletes.
A total of 135 athletes took part in the training camp. The program, which started in 2018, was due for completion in 2020 but was interrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic. And that's it for JS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.
My name is Courtney Coley. I'm a Deputy Superintendent of Police assigned to the Community Safety and Security Branch. The Jamaica Constabulary Force has pledged to serve, protect, and reassure the people of Jamaica, as well as visitors to our shores, with courtesy, integrity, and proper respect for the rights of all. The last academic year brought with it a number of challenges, particularly around school violence. The Jamaica Constabulary Force, in partnership with the Ministry of Education and Youth, as well as other stakeholders, have embarked and will continue to embark on initiatives aimed at reducing these incidents of violence. One such program is the Safe Schools program. This program sees police officers partnering with school administrators to realize a safer school environment. These police officers have received training and are referred to as school resource officers. Currently, 40 additional police officers are being trained to bolster what already exists. The program will see members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force out in their numbers in schools. Additionally, police officers will be deployed at transportation centers and hubs, school corridors, major roadways, and any other place that students are likely to congregate before and after school. The Jamaica Constabulary Force is a force for good. What we're asking the public for is their usual support, patience, and understanding. It is only together that we are stronger. Let us join hands and hearts and see to the safety and security of our nation's youths. Thank you.
The government continues to transform education in Jamaica to make it more relevant to today's reality and future needs. And we're turning the pages of the magazine now to learn about some of the transformational activities within public schools and the agenda for the rest of the 2024-2025 fiscal year.
The Ministry of Education and Youth is leading a significant transformation of Jamaica's education sector. Transforming Education for National Development, TREND, is the program at the heart of this mission. This initiative builds on the work of the Jamaica Education Transformation Commission and its recommendations for the holistic improvement of the country's learning landscape. Of the 365 recommendations, 101 have already been implemented, indicating a proactive attitude to raising the caliber and value of education in the nation. Much is planned for the 2024-25 fiscal year.
School violence impedes the creation of safe learning environments for students. To address this issue, schools are employing a variety of procedures indicated in the government's safety and security policy. The ministry's various interventions include strategies to address student behavioral issues, parental involvement, civic pride, and offering guidance and counseling services. Supporting these is the provision of physical security measures to secure school entrances and surveillance activities on the learning compounds.
We have also embarked on a significant procurement in order to outfit our schools, and we should be able to put out that tender by the first term of the next year.
Another critical component of the safety and security policy is the provision of on-the-ground support for educational institutions.
School resource officers or police officers are assigned to a group of schools, and though no longer physically operating from our educational institutions, they continue to provide valuable support to schools. And this includes, but is not limited to, the following. They coordinate searches upon request. They visit schools regularly. We have motorized patrols in the general school environments before and after school hours. There's regular patrols in the transport and town centers to prevent students loitering during school hours. They do safety audits and reports upon request.
A transformed education sector also involves upgrading the technological infrastructure to help educators and students adapt to shifting global demands.
We just completed broadband internet connectivity in all our schools in St. Thomas, and even more recently, we have outfitted them with Wi-Fi that's available in all classrooms. And so we're pleased to note that to date, 663 of our public schools and places of safety have been connected to the national school network. We want to be known as the STEM graduate producing country, one that promotes the creative and logical thinking of our students. We have already identified one of the 6 locations in Bernard Lodge, St. Catherine, to locate the first STEM school. Since then, the land has been transferred to the Ministry of Education and Youth, and the design work has begun. We've also identified another location in St. Anne. Land transfers in progress and other works have begun. Our agency, the National Education Trust, fondly known as NET, is leading on this along with our World Bank partners for the location in St. Anne. School board members constitute one of the largest group of volunteers in our country. They total almost 10,000, and they give many hours. And oftentimes they give up their own resources to help our schools. A revised set of procedures has been developed in keeping with the recommendations of the transformation report. in terms of our school boards. And it calls on us to review the performance of school boards at the end of each board cycle with the introduction of a monitoring and evaluation framework to train school board members, to streamline the current school governance arrangements, and to acknowledge our school board members. We're pleased to share that early childhood practitioners that have been trained in various areas concerned with professional development total 1,500.
In addition, more teachers are set to enter the classroom this September.
We continue through the Jamaica Teaching Council to build capacity through mandatory teacher mentorship for beginning teachers, mandatory professional days yearly, providing trainers of teachers, support for teachers in how they teach boys, and so on. We're happy to report, Madam Speaker, that a beginning teachers induction ceremony was held for over 1,200 teachers who will enter the system in September of this year. Over 1,000 mentors have been trained to ensure support for beginning teachers and boys' education.
Through the creation of holistic empowerment centers, the Ministry of Education is also working to enhance the lives and standards of living of young people.
And I'm happy to report that we will see the reopening of 2 more youth innovation centers in Hanover, Madam Speaker, and Portmore later this year.
There is also a concerted push at the tertiary level to increase affordability and accessibility to higher learning.
While we focus our minds on that, I'm pleased to note, and as announced recently by the Prime Minister, the allocation of $3 million each to members of Parliament to provide tertiary scholarships up to $200,000 per tertiary student. In closing, Madam Speaker, I remind all Jamaicans that transformation is a process that requires all hands-on-deck approach, and so it's our collective responsibility to support our teachers, to invest in our schools, to engage our children and youth to become active participants in not only their learning, but also in making our country and our world better and more sustainable. Together we can. Together we are trending. We're trending, transforming education for national development.
How am I going to go to college? I can't find anybody to stand security for me. I mean, I could ask my aunt, but she's likely not going to want to do it. Let me ask her just in case. Hey, Auntie, do you know if anybody I could use to stand as guarantor for my student loan? I'm really struggling here.
Hey sis, what are you stressing about now?
Time is winding down and I need to find someone to stand as guarantor for my student loan. But everyone I ask can't seem to do it, and I don't know what to do now.
So hold on. You didn't know that the Students' Loan Bureau doesn't require a guarantor for the loan application?
Are you serious? That's amazing.
Yes! Effective April 1, 2024, the Students' Loan Bureau no longer requires applicants to have guarantors. This applies to all SLB loan products. With SLB, you can make your dreams a reality. Visit our website at slbja.com for more details and follow all our social media platforms to be in the loop.
The public health system in Jamaica is also being modernized to ensure state-of-the-art service and a healthy population. Follow us now to the old capital for a glimpse of the virtual features of the new Spanish Town Hospital, now under construction.
The redevelopment of the 430-bed Spanish Town Hospital is moving forward. It will include the construction of a new state-of-the-art 6-story facility spanning more than 17,000 square meters. $5.5 billion Jamaican dollars is being spent on the project.
The government of Jamaica is determined to transform the health system for patients and their families. Critical for health staff to motivate them and to get their best output. This health system strengthening program was designed to do just that.
Redevelopment of the Spanish Town Hospital is being implemented by the Government of Jamaica under the Health Systems Strengthening Program. It is benefiting from financial support from the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, and European Union, as well as the government's coffers.
Because we have built the economy on strong footing, putting in the necessary fiscal buffers, making sure that we manage expenditure, we have been able to reduce our debt servicing, so that we have more money to spend on the things that matter to you. Today is a perfect example of what a good economy delivers for its citizens. This government has managed your fiscal affairs, your revenues, the taxes that you pay, whether it is GCT, property tax, whatever tax. We have managed it in such a way that today, from our budget, we can say we will allocate $87 million from our budget. So yes, we do get some grants. Yes, we have to borrow. Still our responsibility, we're going to pay it back. But the greater part of this investment comes from the productivity of the Jamaican people.
The new building will boast an accident and emergency wing on its ground floor, alongside an ambulance bay, triage and consultation rooms, and lounge areas for medical staff. The ground floor will also have a radiology department equipped with MRI, X-ray, and CT scan rooms, among other diagnostic services. It will also accommodate outpatient services, an endoscopy unit, surgical suite, and an intensive care unit. The new structure will also include 6 operating theaters with all the necessary services. There are to be multiple general and special wards, including isolation rooms, and a separate wing for laboratory services, including immunology, hematology, serology labs, and blood collection center.
It is said all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, and with good reason. In the case of the education of our children, play is proven to provide great benefits. In this next feature, we learn about the benefits of playing the game of chess, which some schools have incorporated into their curriculum.
There are so many benefits of chess. Chess helps with your mathematical skills. Chess helps with your reasonability. Chess helps with strategic thinking. Some people don't understand. Chess also helps with your patience level. You have to be patient to play the game of chess.
And that includes being patient with people who are just learning the game, especially when instructing younger players.
Good morning, my chess stars.
Good morning, Coach.
All right, today we're going to continue another game of chess. Please shake hands and begin.
Here at Dunrobin Christian Academy, students are offered the opportunity to learn this highly analytical game through the school's chess program. Starting from as early as 4 years old, they are learning how to think critically while keeping their composure in high pressure situations.
Chess helps with the discipline, going through it. So the discipline of, sticking to it, getting a task done and completing a task and things like that.
Right, boom, left, right, left, right, left, right, boom, on here, left, right.
The children love him. He makes chess fun, exciting, and so the children look forward to having him every week. The Ministry of Education has changed the curriculum in that students are now encouraged to think more critically. In the past, when we were doing the GSAT program, it was not as geared towards that. Now with the PEP program, where they have to do what you call performance tasks and ability, their critical thinking skills is something that must be emphasized. And I think that chess is one way of getting the children to be more critical thinkers. The mission of the school is to create students who are well-rounded. That's one. And of course, we want to ensure that we offer them a holistic education that allows them to operate in a global environment. We have an honor roll system here where we recognize students who are producing an average of 90% and over in their exams, midterm and end of term. And of course, we have noticed that the children who play chess, they are generally on the honor roll. As long as I am here, I know that chess will continue to be a part of our program, and I want to encourage parents as well. Even if chess is not offered at the school, they can get their children as a part of a program, because I know that there are programs outside of school, so parents can get involved.
Hi everyone, let's talk granting aid. Eligible targeted loan applicants may receive a non-repayable granting aid of $60,000. These funds can be used for school-related expenses such as traveling, buying food, housing, or purchasing a laptop, for example. Eligibility is determined by the financial circumstances of applicants and the availability of grants. Apply early at slbja.com and be one of 4,200 beneficiaries of our granting aid.
Our half-hour journey through the pages of Jamaica Magazine ends right here for today. But please join us again tomorrow on this station for more news, features, and information you can use. In the meantime, visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for this and other offerings. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry. Till such time, take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.